Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on the screen. Those are attending in online. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on the screen. Those are attending in online. Is my voice is clear to all of you guys? Yes. Please, all of you guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on the screen. Is my voice is clear to all of you? Right. I think all of you joined with the new link, right? All of you joined with the new link, right? Yeah, nice, nice. Yeah. Right. Good morning, guys. And check it what we completed in the last session. What exactly the content here we discussed there in the last session. I think so. We are discussing about we are discussing about steps to prepare first JDBC application. This topic here we are discussing inside this particular topic inside this we started already download and install database software, that is Oracle database in the sense what is that version here we installed here, no? Oracle 21xe. Download and install Java software and its related softwares, like related softwares in the sense like what there, some IDE, Eclipse IDE. Next one is prepare JDBC application logic in Java project, load and register driver, establish connection between Java application and database, create either statement or a prepared statement or callable statement on the basis of our requirement, as per our requirement, write and execute SQL queries, then finally close the resources like connection statement and so on. These are overall 50 odd 50 plus members. Right, sir. Now these are overall steps what we required if you want to prepare JDBC application. Right, sir. Next one is what I completed here. Download and install database software. Download and install database software Oracle 21xe. Yesterday I shown how to download from internet. After that, then how to install the database software. Nothing else I have done. I downloaded the total setup file, zip file. When I extract that zip file, so many files are available. Out of all the files, one setup, not setup file, that Oracle 21xe application is available. That application I double clicked, then automatically Oracle software installation process is going on. In that installation process, max I selected what there, just next buttons only. Whenever it is asking to me like to provide password data, there I have given some password and confirm password, the two fields I filled. Then after that I clicked on install button, then that installation process has been completed. See, after completion of your class, just I went down and again come back to the class in core Java. When the moment when I come back to the core Java class within 5 to 6 minutes of time, there I have seen the situation status is finished, installation is finished. If you are attending core Java class there, in yesterday's core Java video, maybe directly what I opened there, directly this installation folder only I opened directly, where if you are attending core Java class, there you can see at least the remaining part also. Remaining part is nothing. It's asking about allow access. I clicked on allow access, then after that finish button only. That I completed. By the total installation process of the Oracle we completed. Have you installed Oracle database, all of you? As per the yesterday's view, all of you have installed it. Which version you installed there? 21x. Those who are not having Oracle database, then we can use what there? 21xe, then if you're having already Oracle in your system there, then better to use the same database software. Minimum, I think so, you're having 12c onwards. 12c onwards, you're having the database is there. That's okay. If you have already, then we can manage it. Then as for that, then we can go for like what there. We are able to utilize this. Install 12c as per Oracle, sir. Right, class. No problem. You can utilize it. Right, guys. This is overall information. Now, here, observe carefully. Always, I want to open my Oracle database through command prompt as per my flexibility. Of course, we can install, we can open that Oracle database through console also. Oracle has given a separate client to see the Oracle database content, then we can use even that console also. But as much as simple, I want to open what their command prompt only. Why? Because our main motto is not to talk much about Oracle database. Our main motto is to talk about what their Java programs and how to communicate with the database from Java application. So Oracle client or Oracle console or maybe command prompt, whatever is easy for you, then that you can use. So in my point of view, I'm going to use like what there. I want to use like what there. Oracle database I want to open through command prompt. That's my habituation. There I can see some kind of queries and all hard coded information I can do so that you are able to understand everything clearly if we do this. Up to practice we can use this clearly. Right, sir. Do you know Oracle in cloud here? Anyway, not required. No, just this is sufficient here. Yes, of course, in cloud everything you can do. Even you can take some servers in cloud, you can take some databases in cloud, everything we can do. Right, sir. Up to free tier, we have to check it and we have to use that. Right, sir. I'm using Postgres SQL. Yeah, it's okay, fine. Postgres SQL is okay, then better to go for MySQL before that Postgres SQL. If it is not possible to use Oracle, then what I'm telling there, go for that MySQL also. MySQL, either MySQL or Oracle, either of the things here we can use, no problem. But little bit conclusions point of view, some differences are available. There we have to recognize the differences. After completion of few examples, I will directly show how to install MySQL database in the class. Then how to work with the MySQL database also we are going to understand. No need to worry for it. I'll show guys, don't worry. Right, sir. Now, if I want to open Oracle, if I want to open Oracle or maybe SQL plus in my command prompt, what is the command here I have to use there? No, just open the command prompt. There we have to type SQL plus. Right, click on enter button. If you click on enter button, automatically it is asking to me enter database username. See, while installation of this database, by default it has taken system as a username. For that system only we provided some password. So, what is the username for this no system? Then what is the password I provided there in the last class there? Did you remember that? What is the password I given? Durga. Durga is the password I given. Just type username slash password. Click on enter button. Now here my database is connected to Oracle database 21c Express edition release 21 point something else here is available. Understand it clearly? So from Oracle, I don't know how many of you are aware about this Oracle effectively, how many of you are having knowledge on it, but I don't know how much status you are having in Oracle, I don't know. But to start my first JDBs applications, very startup JDBs applications, I need 5 or 6 number of SQL queries. I need only 5 or 6 SQL queries. What SQL queries are required? 5 or 6 now. Now let me go for it. If I complete it, my responsibility will be completed. You may cope up with the Oracle. If it is required more than that, I'll explain inside the classroom. Understand my point here. Now let's see this one. I don't want to go for any too much creating separate user or maybe we're giving some access privileges or some security related. No, I don't require all of them. As much as simple, we have to understand minimum information on Oracle. My intention, I already said to you how to connect with the database from what there no Java application. JDBs is my main focus. Not to think too much about this Oracle. You may have some idea, then you can use it. Or else at minimal level, you can go for this particular one. All right, sir. Now, what I want to do there, I want to create a table. I want to create what there? A table. Then how to create a table? What is the query here we are going to use? Create table. Table name here we are giving. What's the table name here I given there? No, EMP1. Then where what I want to provide there? ENO. Understand it clearly? ENO, employee number. I want to take it as a number. I want to take it as what there? Number of 3. What is this 3 actually? Is a size. Right now I want to make it as what there? Primary key. Maximum in enterprise applications or maybe normal in our JDB's applications also. Whenever we are creating a table, there definitely we have to provide what there no primary key. Definitely primary key is required. Where only one key is acting as primary key or combination of keys are acting as a primary key, that means composite keys, no, depends on our requirement. But as of now, I required only one key as what their primary key. My uniqueness is identified through only one key, that is what their primary key, that is what their ENO. That's okay, fine. Next one is ename varchar2. I'm going to take here, but don't ask me, sir, what is the difference between varchar and varchar2? It's part of the Oracle. Then you can try, you can check in your Oracle now, right? Google it if you require any information there, right, sir? Now here we are able to create like what there ename varchar2 of 10, that what we are getting. After completion of this varchar2 like this here, then what next one here we are able to follow there. Now here I want to go for eSal. ESal, then float. I want to take that. Float. I want to take. Okay, default size. If we are not specifying any size, by default some size will be taken here. Let it take. Comma. Then what next one here? No EADTR. Again here I want to take like what there varchar 2 of 10 now. Like this I want to take. Observe carefully where I have taken number, where I have taken varchar2, and where I have taken float, where I have taken varchar2. That if you observe this clearly, points are very much clear. Wherever I want to represent a number, numeric value there, where number I have taken, float in the sense float value also we can take there. But wherever I want to take a string type of data, there we have taken like what there, varchar2 of 10. Understand it clearly. Varchar and varchar2, some memory point of view, some difference is available, that we can check it anyway. Click on enter button. Now what we are getting there clearly? Table created. But please remember this, whenever we create a table, or whenever we create a table, or whenever we are performing updations in the data, whenever we are inserting the data, whenever we are performing non-selection operations, whenever we are performing these things, then better to commit, better to go for what their commit. If we commit it, the data will be permanent. Answer my point here. Where is the problem? If you are not committing that, then where is the problem here now? If you are not committing that, then where is the problem? Try to understand this problem here. Up to in our local system, up to this command prompt, that EMP1 table is created, that we can access, no problem, even without committing here. But where is the problem here? Whenever we are trying to connect with this database externally from outside, through a Java program, whenever we are connecting there, then whatever the table we created, if we are not committed that, the table is not visible to the external resources. To our JDBC, the table is not visible. If we commit it, then only the table will be visible to the outside external client applications. Understand my point, Ken? But up to in our local system, in our local, we can access the EMP1 table even without committing. But if you want to see the same EMP1 table from JDBC program, there it is not visible for us. Understand it clearly. That's why commit operation is required. Right, sir. Then after that, I want to check whether this table is created or not. If it is created, I want to get some details about this table. Whatever the table we created here, some details here I want to provide. Further purpose here, we have to use what there? Description EMP1. Description EMP1 semicolon, that we are using there. Now observe carefully what we are getting there, no? ENO, not null. Why? Because we declared it as what there? Primary key. Next one is what there? Number 3. Ename, varchar 2 of 10. ECell, what is the default size for float, sir? 126. Some internally some size is created, don't mind for it too much. EADD here, varchar 2 of 10, that what we are getting there. That's okay, fine. Description here we are getting. Now my requirement is, I want to insert some data into the database. I want to insert some record into the database. That's my requirement. So here, what I have to do there? Insert into EMP1 values of, now tell me, first of all, ENO data. ENO data is what there? number data. Directly we can specify comma. Next one is what there, ename. Ename is varchar data or not? Character data. Whenever we want to enter some string data, in the case of Java, we have to use double quotations. But in the case of Oracle, we have to use what there, no, single quotation. Definitely here we have to specify what there, some single quotation, then comma. Then after that, what next one, float value. In the case of float, just we can give a number, simple number, or maybe dot, something else over here we can give there. So now 5000 here I've given comma. Then what next one here? EADDR. What is a EADDR here? We are able to get now again in the form of the single quotations. Just I want to give some value like this. Right, sir. Now close and semicolon is required. In SQL, if you want to write SQL queries like this, no, their semicolon is required, mandatory at the end. But whenever we are writing SQL queries in JDBC programs, no, semicolon is not required. Semicolon is not required while writing SQL queries in Java program, in JDBC program. But in explicitly, if you want to execute that SQL queries, if you want to write SQL queries in our console, in our SQL console, their semicolon is mandatory. That's okay, guys. One row we inserted. Next one is like what there. Second one here I want to provide. Now get 222. Then what next one here? BBB. Then some 6000 values item I want to provide. Now second row is also be inserted. 333. Then what next one? No, CCC. Then 7000. Here we are providing. Click on enter button. Inserted. Next one. 444. Then DDD 8000. Right, sir. Now almost all four records here we inserted here. All four records are inserted. Now at the end I want to go for what their commit. Up to now, whatever the updations here we have done there, then better to go for what their commit operation. See, this commit operation is frequent in our database related content here. Now here, I want to see whether all records are inserted or not. To see all records are inserted or not, then what we have to do there, no? Select SQL query, select a star from EMP1. If you do this, all records are inserted or not? All records are inserted here. But if you want to filter out the records there, then we can provide some condition, where clause we have to provide there. What's that where clause here? I'm telling you, no. Here we are using select a star from EMP1, where E shall less than then 7000, only 7000 less than only, even not including 7000. This is my requirement here. Now observe carefully here what we are getting there, no, only the records which are less than 7000 salary only we are getting. Yes, in that way we are able to filter the data also by using where clause. I think that all of you might be aware about all these things, basics only. Next one is I want to update the table. I want to update some records. If you want to update the records now, then what we have to do there? Update EMP1 set ESAL is equal to ESAL plus 500, where ESAL less than 10,000. What's the meaning of this SQL query? No, basic SQL query only. The employees, those who are having their salary less than 10,000, for them I want to give 500 increment over their salary. I'm giving 500 over their salary as an increment for all the employees, those who are having their salary less than 10,000. This is a requirement here. As for that, I have written this SQL query. Now click on enter button. Now here, how many rows are updated, sir? Here, 4 rows are updated. How many rows are updated there? 4 rows are updated. Now, what we have to do there immediately? Commit operation. Up to in our local system, we can see that updations, no problem. But whenever we are connecting with connecting from external source there, external source in the sense might be Java program, JDBC program there these updations will not be happen there if you want to get them. Get my point or not? Right, sir. Then here we have to go for like what there? Commit operation here we have to use. Whenever we are performing commit operation, then again I want to check whether the data is available or not. Now select the star from EMP1. If you do this, now here we are able to get like what there? Previously 5000, 6000, 7000, 8000, but now what we are getting there now? 5500, 6500, 75 and 85. This data here we are getting. Yes, sir. All of you are getting my point or no? What's it? How to? That you can check in Oracle class now. How to check second highest number? Guys, help me. Then what is the functions here now? Do you have any functions here now? Um, rand for the sake of random, right? No, random column. Yeah, but the point is second highest now, 7,500 salary I want to get. Okay, okay. Anyway, boss, check in later. Then basics only. My requirement is I am ordinary Java developer, right? Not even Oracle developer, right? Fine. Let's understand. If the requirements are coming, then definitely I will check it now. Why? Because I can check it now, but it may take some time here. I have to sit for it. And time later on we'll check for it anyway. Let's come for this one. Now next one is like after that. Where we are now, just we are performing like what their updations. Then what next one here? After completion of this one now, I want to delete all records. I want to delete all records here. So if you want to delete all records now, then what we have to do there? Simply from what there, delete from EMP1. Where if you want to put any condition to delete some of the records there, then we have to go for like what there? Where E cell, where E cell, something else like what there, less than 7,000. That means what is the meaning of it? I want to delete the records from EMP1. Which records we want to delete there? E cell less than 7,000. Then here we need to go for like what there? Commit operation here. Right, sir. I think one of our online student has given one SQL query. Nested SQL queries user might be max operations. Right. I'll check it anyway. Now observe carefully here. How many records are deleted, sir? 2 records are deleted. Now let me check it. No, 1 minute. Select the star from EMP1. How many records are available here? No, 2 records are available. See this SQL query. One of our online student, Jayant Agarwal, has given this answer now. Select the max of E cell from EMP1 where E cell less than select of max E cell from EMP1. First, this will be evaluated, right? Select a max of E cell from EMP1. That is what their max value we are able to get. Then after that, select a max of EL1 from E cell. Something is going to be happen. Now let me check it anyway. Max E cell what there? 7,500. Okay, here only 2 records are available. We are getting it anyway. Yes, sir. Okay. Nested query. This is what their nested SQL query here we have written. Through that we are achieving, but okay, this is easiest solution only. Except this nested SQL queries, try for it. Definitely some solution is available. Writing nested SQL query is okay. That is our manipulated thing only. But more than this, any other solutions are available, we have to check for it. Right. Anyway, no problem. Let's come for our content, guys. Then what next one here? After completion of this, now try to check this. Now here just we performed like what there, how to create a table I shown, how to insert the records, how to update the records, how to delete the records. After that here we have seen. Last one is then what I want to do there, drop table EMP1. What's the meaning of it now? Just I want to drop the table, deleting the table from the database here. Table dropped. Again here, what we have to perform there now? Commit. Committing here is required. Then after that, now let me check this now. Select select star from EMP1. Select star from EMP1. Then what we are getting, sir? Now observe carefully. Whenever we are writing select star from EMP1, table or view does not exist. Table or view does not exist. That's okay. Good. Then after that, after completion of this, then what next one here? Right, sir. Now description EMP1. Description EMP1. If you want to check this, here what we are getting there? Object EMP1 does not exist. Okay. Right, like this here we are having like what there, the minimal operations in JDBC, minimal operations in database. Guys, all of you are understanding why I'm discussing this basic stuff there. My point is very clear. If I want to start a very first JDBC program, at a minimum of the minimum, you should know these SQL queries. If any of you are not aware about these SQL queries, no, at least we can understand now these SQL queries. I think so. Maybe everybody might be aware about these SQL queries. Not required to discuss about it clearly, right? More than this, if we required as per our requirement, then you can check in Google. Otherwise, in my applications, if we required more than this, definitely I will give some solution for all the content here clearly, right? That's okay, guys. Now leave this one. So finally, which step here we completed totally? No, step number 1 is completed here. Download and install database software Oracle 21xe database. Okay, fine. Let's move on to the next one. What is the next one here now? Download and install Java software and its related softwares. I think this step is not required. We are coming to the advanced Java classes in the sense already you are having awareness on what there, how to install Java software and how to install Eclipse IDE. Related softwares in the sense my thing is what there, Eclipse IDE only. What is the latest version is available in Eclipse IDE that we can use? What is the latest version of the Eclipse IDE? What is the latest version here? Right? Ninth month, right? 9 only. Right, exactly. Maybe in December might be they are able to provide next version. Right, there we can check what is the latest version available that we can use. But for the latest versions of the Eclipse, I think so, Java 19 version may not be supported. Maybe Java 17 version is definitely supporting in all the cases max. So if you are using Java 17 version, then better go for the latest version of the Eclipse IDE. Or else if you are using latest version of the Eclipse IDE, better to go for Java 17 version in our system. Already you know about like what they're how to install Java 17 version. Try to use that. Okay. Right, sir. Then after that, after completion of this is our required information, guys. From this point onwards, here we have to put more concentration here now. Right, sir. Then, as part of this, prepare JDBC application logic in Java projects. As per this, then what we have to do there? These steps one by one here we have to understand. From this point onwards, our actual story will start. Our actual story will start from this point onwards. Right, guys? Observe carefully, all of you know. Guys, now once again, I'm asking to you. This is again an interview question on outside. Interviewers are asking this question there. Again, what is the question I'm asking to you? Tell me what exactly the steps we require to interact with the database from Java applications. This is a question. Interviewer may ask this question there fundamentally. Then what is your answer for this question there? Overall, 5 steps are existed. What are the 5 steps overall there? First one is load and register driver. Okay, load and register driver. And second step is what there? Establish connection between Java application and database. Next one, third one is what there? Create either statement or prepared statement or a callable statement depending on our application requirement. Okay, next one, write and execute SQL queries. Last one is what there? Close the resources like a connection statement and so on. These 5 steps, if you say to that interviewer, then interviewer may be extended to you how we are able to load and register the driver. What we have to do to load and register the driver. Right, sir? Then we are going to understand effectively this total content. First of all, tell me, guys, I'm asking one question to all of you. Now try to understand it. In general, already we have seen that in general in the sense in JDBC, in general, in JDBC driver, that means what I'm telling here, driver java.sql.driver is an interface provided by, come on guys, you have to give answer for my question here. Java.sql.driver is an interface provided by Sun Microsystems and implemented by all the database vendors in their respective database softwares. Am I right or not? Guys, observe carefully. In general, in JDBC, Java.sql.driver is an interface provided by Sun Microsystems and implemented by all the database vendors all the database vendors in their respective database softwares or in the respective websites or whatever it may be. Leave it now. This is the first point here we have to understand. Okay, nice. After that, okay, we understood. In a JDBC program, if you want to load and register the driver, if you want to load the driver, later on we'll think about register the driver. If you want to load the driver, if you want to load the driver, if you want to load the driver, first we have to make available the driver to your JDBC program or not. First of all, we have to tell to your JVM where the driver class is available or not. Then only JVM will go there, then only JVM will load the driver. Without knowing the location, how JVM can load the driver class? No, answer my point here. So what we have to do there now? Tell me here. What we have to do there now? Try to understand it now. If you want to load and register a driver, if you want to load and register driver, first we have to make available the driver class to the JDBC application, that is that is that is to the JVM. Understand it, Keno? Why I'm giving this point? In the next point, you are able to understand it. If we want to load and register driver, first we have to make available driver class to the JDBC application. That is to what they know JVM. How we are going to make available no? How we are going to make available driver class to the JVM here? To make available driver class to JVM, listen carefully. To make available driver class to JVM, we have to set class path environment variable. We have to set what there? Class path environment variable to class path environment variable to the location where driver class is existed. Understand it? What I'm telling there? In general, if you want to make available driver class to the JVM, then what we have to do there? We have to set which environment variable? Is it a path environment variable or class path environment variable? Class path. To make available dot class file. Driver class is nothing but dot class file only. To make available this driver dot class file to the JVM, we have to set class path environment variable. What we have to set there? Class path environment variable. To what location there? To what there? To the location where driver class is existed. Yes, sir. All of you are getting my point or not? Listen carefully. Note, I am telling to you, by this we are able to get some clarity. If we are using Oracle database, then Oracle has provided driver class in the form of, what is this driver class actually? Oracle.jdbc.oracle driver. This is a package actually. Oracle.jdbc is a package, no? Where Oracle driver in the form of h or maybe in a jar file, named as, listen all of you know, I will show this. 1 minute, all of you look this one. In the future, we have to check this point also, no? Now tell me, this Oracle driver is an implementation class to the driver or not? This has been provided in Oracle database or not? In Oracle database in the form of a jar file that is provided. What is a jar file actually? The jar file is, I'll show this point here. Try to understand it. Where I installed my Oracle database, guys, now tell me in a C drive. Inside the C drive, what is the folder I created here now? Oracle 21xe. Inside this, what is available there? Now tell me DB home xe. What is the location here? DB home xe. Inside this DB home xe, let's search for JDBC. DB home xe, what is available? JDBC. Inside the JDBC, what is existed here? Lib. Inside the lib, observe carefully what we are having there now. OJDBC 8. Am I right or not? Next one is what there? OJDBC 11. Am I right or not? OJDBC 8, OJDBC 11 are available or not? Observe carefully. OJDBC 8 means that this is JDBC driver, or this jar file contains JDBC abstraction, where the Java version of the JDBC is 8th version or above versions. 8th version or above versions. Okay, no problem. 8th version, especially for 8th version. Next one, OJDBC 11 is available. This is specific to what there no 11 version. Specific to what version of the Java there no 11th version keno. Java 11 keno. No problem, right? This is for what there JDBC, that means Java related version 11 or above versions we can use that. I get my point or not? 11 or above versions can vary. Of course, in my system, I'm preparing my Java program with what version they know 17th version. Still, I can use that. No problem. I don't have any problem with that. I get my point or not? So Java 11 or above versions, we can use what there? OJDBC 11.jar. Java 8 or above versions up to 11th version. What we are able to use there? No, Java OJDBC 8 version here. Okay, whatever it may be here. My point is what there? I need to go for what there? What I want to use there? No, 11 I want to use. As I'm using like Java version is what there? 17 version. Then better to go for what there? No, latest versions only here we can use. Now OJDBC 11.jar file here I'm going to use. That's okay, fine. Now here we need to go for like what there? OJDBC 11.jar file is available. This is the location, guys. Can you tell me what is the location I have used there? No, C. Aracle installation folder. Then inside this Aracle 12x, that is an installation folder. DB home XE. Inside this JDBC. Inside the JDBC, what next one again? No, lib. Inside the lib, what is available? OJDBC. Some version .jar file is existed here. Alright, so now let me go for this point here clearly. Named as a OJDBC 11.jar file. OJDBC 11.jar file. If you are using Oracle database, then Oracle has provided driver class in the form of Oracle.jdbc.oracle driver in a jar file named as OJDBC 11.jar file at the location. This is the location. Got my point or not? In this location is available. So what should be our command? You know, set class path is equal to. Then we have to provide this entire thing and semicolon. Yes, sir. All of you get my point or not? Point is very clear. If you want to load and register the driver, first of all, what we have to do? We have to make available driver class to the JDBC program. To make available driver class to the JDBC program, then what we have to do there? No, simply we have to set a class path environment variable to the location where this jar file is available. Then how to set this one? In the case of Oracle database, immediately I'm going to use Oracle database only. That's why I'm using this specification here. If you are using Oracle database now, then Oracle has provided driver class in the form of Oracle.jdbc.oracle driver in a jar file named as, what is the jar file? You know, OJDBC 11.jar file at the location. In this location it is available. So here what we have to do there? We have to use this particular command. Alright, sir. Now set class path is equal to C:/Oracle 21xe/db home xe/jdbc lib OJDBC 11.jar file. This we have to set on command prompt. Then only JVM can identify the location where driver class is existed. Right, one more note I'm telling there. Note, listen carefully. This is a required point here. If we are using IDEs, especially for example, if we are using Eclipse IDE, if you are using Eclipse IDE, then what we have to do? Not required to set class path again. To avoid this type of a path, class path, a headache only, we are using IDEs now. If we are using Eclipse IDE, then what we have to do there? Simply keep OJDBC 11.jar file in a project lib folder. In project, what folder there? No, lib folder. In every project, lib is available one folder. There inside this, just we can paste it. Copy jar file and paste the jar file in the lib folder. Got my point or not? All right. One point I'm telling there. Listen carefully. That's okay, fine. Another note I'm telling there. This information you have to know. In Eclipse IDE, especially what I'm telling there. In Eclipse IDE, src folder, comma lib folder. src folder and lib folder are always in a class path. Are always in what they know class path. Are getting this point here? No. Are getting this point here? No. Lib folder and src folder. Remaining things are not required immediately. Lib folder and src folder both are always in which environment variable? Class path environment variable. If we keep any jar file in the lib folder, that's almost equal to this one internally. If we keep this OJDBC11.jar file in the lib folder of the Eclipse IDE, this is almost equal to what they know. The set a class path is equal to up to this part internally. So which jar file we require, which library we require. In Eclipse IDE, if you want to prepare any application which requires some library relate to that library, get the jar file, try to keep the jar file in the lib folder. Then automatically your content is going to be provided. This is like what I'm doing, another one here now. Otherwise, what I'm telling there, okay, lib folder might be feel somewhat difficult here. If lib folder is not available, normal very Java program here, if you're preparing, no, then what I'm telling there, simply do one thing. Instead of saying this part here, one more point I'm telling there. If you're using Eclipse IDE, simply add the required jar file, in a build path. Required jar file in what then a build path. I will show how to add this in a build path here. I will show this one. But if it is a case in web application, that lib folder kind of thing is going to be happen. In web application, lib folder kind of thing is going to be happen. But in the normal application, just we can go for build path. But multiple approaches are available. I will show. But the point here I'm telling to you, not required to set class path explicitly if you are using Eclipse IDE. That's the point I'm telling to you now. Right, sir. Leave this one here. This is okay, fine. Next one is after that. All of you observe carefully. Listen, what I am telling there. To load and register driver class, first we have to make available driver to the JDBC program. So we have to set class path environment variable to the location where driver class is available. If we use Eclipse IDE, try to add the respective jar file in a build path. Up to this point, we understood. Am I right or not? All of you are getting clarity up to this point or not? Practical I will show again. Don't worry for it. But one more point I'm telling to you, try to understand it. Type 1 driver. If you observe this type 1 driver, what is this type 1 driver story? I think you already aware about it. When java.sql.driver interface was provided by Sun Microsystems, Sun Microsystems has given an option to all the database vendors, requested to all the database vendors, try to provide your own implementation class for this driver. But immediately, what all database vendors have done, all database vendors are expecting some showcase, some model implementation from what they know, Sun Microsystems. All database vendors have requested Sun Microsystems to prepare a model implementation for this particular driver interface. As per that, Sun Microsystems has prepared a model implementation or not? Sun Microsystems has provided a model implementation, that is what their type 1 driver. Am I right or not? Type 1 driver. Now tell me, who has provided implementation for type 1 driver? Come on guys, what we are providing implementation for type 1 driver? Who has provided implementation for type 1 driver? Sun Microsystems only we have provided here. Okay, Sun Microsystems has provided type 1 driver in the same Java software. Sun Microsystems has provided type 1 driver class in the same Java software. In which way exception class is available, in which way thread class is available, in which way collection interface is available. In the same way, type 1 driver class is available in the Java software. Sun.jdbc.odbc.jdbc.odbc driver class is available in the same Java software. Already it is existing in the Java predefined library. Then is there any requirement to set class path environment variable? If it is not available in Java software, then only we have to set class path environment variable. Am I right or not? But already the type 1 driver class is available inside the Java software. So why we are not going to use directly that type 1 driver class there? Why we are thinking about to set class path environment variable? Definitely not. Definitely not required. Why? Because type 1 driver class was provided by Sun Microsystems in the same Java software. So I'm asking one question to you now. Tell me, to use exception class in Java program, have you set any class path environment variable? To use a thread class in Java program, have you set any class path environment variable? No, no. Because of that reason here, what I'm telling to you, if we are using type 1 driver in our JDB's application, if we are using type 1 driver, if you are using type 1 driver, that is, what is this one? That is sun dot jdbc dot odbc dot jdbc odbc driver. If you are using type 1 driver in type 1 driver in jdbc applications, in jdbc applications, then it is not required, then it is not required to set a class path, then it is not required to set a class path environment variable, then it is not required to set class path environment variable. Why? Because type 1 driver class was provided by Sun Microsystems in the same Java software, in the same Java software along with the Java predefined library. If we are not using type 1 driver, if we are using some other driver, there definitely class path is required. But if we are using type 1 driver, class path environment variable is not required. Why? Because type 1 driver class was already provided in the same Java software. Sir, all of you get my point or not? But observe carefully, but one point is available. What is that? Another point here. Class path environment variable is not required in the case of type 1 driver. But what's the point here? No. But if you want to use type 1 driver in JDBC applications, then we have to configure ODBC driver. Then we have to configure what there? ODBC driver. Guys, all of you get my point here. Then we have to configure what there? ODBC driver. Okay, but this ODBC driver configuration is required for only which driver there? No, type 1 driver. ODBC configuration is required for which driver here? No, type 1 driver only, not for any other driver. Get my point or not? So because of that reason here, what I'm telling there, how we are going to configure, how we are able to configure ODBC driver, how we are able to configure ODBC driver in our system. But I'm telling to you, ODBC configuration for type 1 driver may be possible, may not be possible in the latest laptops, in the latest operating systems. Even if it is not possible, don't mind it. Not required to use type 1 driver. Already said you, type 1 driver is what there? An outdated driver. But information point of view, I'm discussing with you. Actually, it is not going to be utilized in our JDBC applications. In our JDBC applications, max we are going to use what there? No, type 4 driver. Answer my point here. But as per my responsibility, I want to show that. But in your systems may be available, may not be available. If it is not available, feel very happy. Then where to go for what there? Type 4 driver information. But let me show this point here clearly. Then how we are going to set a ODBC driver? How we are going to configure ODBC driver? If you want to configure ODBC driver, just to open control panel. Just to open what there? No, control panel. I got my point or not? Then click on like what there? System and security. Click on what there? System and security. Last one. What is the next one? You know, administrative tools. Are you noting the points? You know, what are the points I'm telling you? Steps are like what there? First one is like what there? Control panel. Control panel. Then what next one here? What next one here? System and security. Then what next one? You know, administrative tools. Right. Next one. What next one here after this no? Administrative tools here we are getting there. Inside this administrative tools, just please recognize this what we are having there no. ODBC data source for what there 32 bit. ODBC data source for what there 64 bit. Now what we have to open there 64 bit or 32 bit now 64 bit. Nowadays my operating system is with what there now 64 bit. Everything is going on with the 64 bit. Double click on it. Double click on it. ODBC data sources 64 bit. ODBC data sources inside the bracket 64 bit. All right, sir. Next one is what there after this. Now observe carefully. User DSN, system DSN, all the things are available here. Just we have to go for what there user DSN. By default, it is selected. These are all user DSNs are available. Already might be previously. I might be created this one previously as per my previous requirement here. But anyway, not required here. Just I want to remove it. Yes, I removed it. Freshly, I'm getting there. Now here, I need to configure that ODBC driver. To configure this ODBC driver here, just what we have to click there now, add button here, we have to click. Which button is available there? Add button. Click on add button. If we click on add button, now it is showing all options clearly for us. What are the various options are available here? Now try to check this here. This option here. What is this option there? Now tell me. Oracle in DB21 home 1. Available or not available? As existed here. Now click on this one and click on what button here? Finish button. I think we lost our connection here. First of all, here what we have to provide there? Click on what button there? Add button. After selecting this, what we have to do there? Click on add button. Click on add button. Then after that, what next one here? After clicking on add button here, select what we have to select there? Oracle in or a DB21 home 1. Or a DB21 home. Right, sir. This we have to select. Then click on finish button. Click on finish button. Observe carefully. Click on finish button. After clicking on this finish button, then what next one here we have to do there? Here we have to provide data source name. What you have to provide there? First option is what there? Data source name. Observe carefully. Here what we have to provide there? Data source name. Provide data source name. In general, I want to provide in my system my data source name is like what there. Just I want to provide with my name. That's it. Just I want to give some data source. Now, of course, we can give your name. No issues for it. Right, sir. Data source name here I'm going to give. Just I want to give with my name. Okay, that's enough. Now click on what button here? No, OK button. Not required to fill any other content here. Not at all required. Just leave them as is. Click on OK button. Okay, now here it is created. It is created. Then after that, again click on what button here? No, OK button. Click on OK button 2 times. Click on OK button. Then again here, click on OK button. Yes, sir. All of you are getting my points clearly. What exactly the process here we applied here? Are you getting this now? First one is like what there? Control panel. Open control panel. Then after that, select what we have to select there now. Select system and security. Next one is what there? Select or click on administrative tools. Then what next one again? No? Select ODBC data sources 64 bit. Then what next one? You click on add button. Then after that, what next one again? No? Select Oracle in Aura DB21 home. Then what next one again? No? Click on finish button. Click on finish button. Then after that, what we have to give there? Provide data source name. That is what I provided here with my name. I provided. You can use your name. Click on OK button and finally click on OK button. That's enough. This is a process case. Guys, all of you are okay, or one more time you require this one? Is it okay? What the process here we have taken? That's fine, nice. So finally here what we are getting there now, how to set ODBC data source, ODBC driver, how to set ODBC driver here we completed here, ODBC driver part here we completed, we configured it. This we are going to use in the case of type 1 driver, no need to worry for it. Okay, this is required for which driver now? This is required for what driver here? Type 1 driver. But if you are using other than this type 1 driver, if you use any other driver other than this type 1 driver, the setup is not required. This ODBC setup is not at all required. Just we can avoid this. We can skip this one anyway. All right. So then after that, after completion of this particular part here, and then what next one here we are using there? If we want to use type 1 driver in JDBC application, then we have to go for it. That's okay, fine. Leave this one. But one small note here, what is the point I'm telling there? Observe carefully. Type 1 driver support is existed up to Java 7 version, up to Java 1.7 version. I got my point on type 1 driver support is existed in Java up to Java 1.7 version. It is not existed from Java 1.8 version onwards. So what's the point I'm telling here? If we want to use type 1 driver, then we have to use which version of the Java there now? 1.7. Then only it is possible. Otherwise, it is not possible. Yes, sir. All of you are getting this point or not clearly? Right, sir. Leave this particular one. Next one is after completion of this particular one. Okay, type 1 driver is limitation also here. We understood here. Leave this one. Finally, whether we are using type 1 driver or a type 2 driver or type 3 or type 4 driver or type 5 driver, that doesn't matter for us. Whatever the driver you are using, finally here we have to think about it, how to make available the driver to JDBC program. If it is type 1 driver, not required to set class path environment variable. If it is not a type 1 driver, definitely we have to set a class path environment variable, either through class path or not having class path, whatever it may be. Finally here what happened there? Driver is available to our JDBC program or not? The total driver class is available to our JDBC program or not? Now, after availing driver class to our JDBC program, then we have to think how to load and register driver class in our JDBC program. After making availability of this driver class to the JDBC program, there we have to think how to make available, how to load and register driver class in our JDBC application. That's clear to all of you now? Now, try to observe this clearly. Further purpose here, what I'm telling there, in JDBC applications, to load and register driver class, we have to use the following method from java.lang.class. Without creating object for a driver class, I want to load its class bytecode to the memory. Without creating object for the class, I want to load class bytecode to the memory. Then which method we have to use, sir? Now tell me. Right, sir. You might be aware about this point already. In the prerequisite part, we have seen already this point here now. Without knowing, guys, observe carefully. Without creating object for the respective driver class, just I want to load driver class bytecode to the memory. Just I want to load driver class bytecode to the memory. Then what method here we have to use there? That method should be public static. Return type is what there? Class for name of string class name, fully qualified name of the respective class. Then what next one here? Throws class not found exception. Class not found exception. I think somewhere else we understood this point. In the prerequisite part, or maybe in the core Java, in object orientation, you have discussed already these points clearly. Right, sir. Then what is that example here I'm telling to you? Class dot for name method. For name method is a static method or not? The static method we can access by using its class name or not? The class name is class only. Class dot for name method. Class dot for name method that we provided. Now inside this we need to provide sun dot jdbc dot odbc dot jdbc odbc driver. This is in the case of type 1 driver. What driver, sir? Type 1 driver. Say for example, another example here I'm telling to you. Class dot for name of Oracle dot JDBC dot Oracle driver. But remember this, if you want to use type 2 driver, we need OJDBC 11 dot jar file in the class path or not. It's mandatory. If you are not using type 1 driver, other than type 1 driver, if you use any other driver, there we must set a class path environment variable or not. There we have to set class path environment variable. So this is like what there type 4 driver from Oracle. Type 4 driver from what they know? Oracle. Oracle provided type 4 driver that we are using. Say for example, class dot for name of all these many drivers are not required. Only one driver is sufficient. But examples I'm telling that these many ways, these many advantage, these many examples are available. Like this, I'm telling this information now. Com dot mysql dot cj dot jdbc dot driver. What is this actually? This is from type 4 from what they know mysql. Which driver we are using? The respective class dot for name method here we have to use. Which driver we are using? The respective class dot for name method here we have to use. Yes, sir. All of you get my point or not? Just last 5 minutes of time. I'm going to explain its internal flow of execution. Try to understand this flow internally. It's very, very important. Everybody must follow this internal flow of execution. All of you ready? All of you ready? Just 3 to 4 points only I'm going to talk now, but try to remember the 3 to 4 points now. Already the basic information already you aware in the prerequisite part, but again I'm recollecting the points. Try to understand it. Okay, listen, not required to write any information there. Tomorrow I will write that information. I will share the total document, but try to listen today. What's the point here I required now? When JVM executes these intersections, class dot for name method. Point number 1, JVM will take the provided class name. Whatever the parameter we provided to the for name method, JVM will take that class name, provided class name. After that, JVM will search for the driver class file, dot class file at 3 locations. At a current location from where you are running the program, yet Java predefined library, and at the locations referred by class path environment variable. First, JVM will take the driver class name from the parameter. JVM will search for its dot class file at 3 locations. Current location, Java predefined library, and at the locations referred by class path environment variable. If it is a type 1 driver, the driver class is identified in Java predefined library. If it is a type 4 driver from Oracle or from MySQL database, no, the driver class is identified through class path environment variables. Fine. If the required driver dot class file is not available at all the 3 locations, the required dot class file is not available at all the 3 locations, immediately JVM will raise an exception. What is that exception that JVM is able to raise there? Java.lang.class not found exception. If the driver dot class file is available at either of these 3 locations, if driver dot class file is available at either of these 3 locations, immediately what JVM will do now, JVM will load the driver class bytecode to the memory. JVM will load driver class bytecode to the memory. This is clear up to now. Everybody might be understand up to this punch can. If driver class dot class file is available at either of these 3 locations, no, class bytecode will be loaded. Not available, exception will come. What is that exception here? No, java.lang.class not found exception. From this point onwards, two more steps are available. Try to understand it now. In every driver class, there is a static block. It may be type 1 driver, it may be type 4 driver, it may be provided from Oracle, or it may be provided by MySQL, whatever it may be. In every driver class, commonly a static block is existed. There is a static block. Inside the static block, there is a method call. There is a method call inside the static block. That method call is driver manager dot register driver method. Driver manager dot register driver method. This is already exist in every driver class. Fine. Then what's going to be happen when JVM is loading driver class bytecode to the memory? When JVM is loading driver class bytecode to the memory, automatically JVM will execute the static block which is available inside the driver class. You know already static blocks are executed at what time? Static blocks are executed at what time? At the time of loading a respective class bytecode to the memory. So when JVM is loading driver class bytecode to the memory, automatically JVM will execute a static block. At the time of executing static block, inside the static block, driver manager dot register driver method will be executed. Driver manager dot register driver method will be executed. By the execution of this register driver method only, by the execution of this register driver method only, our required driver will be registered in our application. The required driver will be activated for our application. Yes, sir. Got my point or not? This is the total internal flow when we completed this. Okay, whenever static block is executed, whenever driver manager registered driver method is executed, automatically driver will be activated. So by this the total bytecode of the driver class is loaded. After loading the total bytecode of the driver class now, automatically java.lang class object will be created for the loaded driver class, where metadata of the driver class will be stored. Internally class object, java.lang class object will be created for every loaded class. There a heap memory, that object is created where metadata of the driver class is existed here. That's it. This is a total flow of execution of this class.forName method. Come again, what exactly the point here I given to you about this particular class.forName method. For example, if JVM is executing this NS section, when JVM is executing this NS section, what are the various activities which are performed by JVM? Now tell me. What activities are performed by JVM? Now tell me. First one, what is this first one here? Now tell me here. No, JVM will take the parameter. What is that parameter actually? Driver class is a parameter. Then after that, JVM will search for its dot class file. At which location JVM will search for its dot class files? Now tell me. At two locations, three locations. What are the three locations now? Current location, Java predefined library, the locations referred by class path environment variable. In these three locations only, this JVM will search for its dot class file. If the required dot class file is not available in all the locations, if the required dot class file is not available in all the locations, then what will happen there? No, where we are able to get an exception. What is that exception here? We are able to get there class not found exception here we are able to get. In the case if driver dot class file is available at either of these three locations, then immediately what JVM will do there? JVM will load the driver class bytecode to the memory. JVM will load driver class bytecode to the memory. At the time of loading driver class bytecode to the memory, at the time of loading driver class bytecode to the memory, a static block will be executed. What block will be executed here? No, a static block will be executed. As part of the static block execution, JVM will access driver manager dot register driver method. By the execution of this register driver method only, our JDBC driver will be activated in our application. Without calling driver manager dot register driver method, our JDBC driver will not be activated. Answer my point here. By this automatically what happens? JDBC driver is getting ready for our JDBC application to connect with our databases here. Right, this part is completed here. After completion of this, then what next one here? When the bytecode of the respective driver class is loaded, then immediately java.lang class object will be created in heap memory to store all the metadata of the loaded driver class. By this, the total process of class.forName is completed. At least, are you getting clarity? Why I'm discussing static method, static block, and class.forName method in the prerequisite part? No? In a course prerequisite part, I discussed these topics here because of this particular internal concept only, because of this particular view only. Understand or not? All of you know, right? Right, guys. Now this is what exactly the point here I'm telling you. I have not written any document for it. No, just I explained the total flow of execution there. So time may not be sufficient for it here. And tomorrow I will write the document and I will share this total document here. Just only a little bit I have written. I'm not going to share any document today. Then tomorrow I will share the document after completion of the total step. Please, I'm requesting to all of you guys from today class onwards. Every class is important in the next 10 to 15 days of time. Next to 10 to 15 days of time, every class is important. Every class is a linked class only. So don't miss these classes there. For example, in the case, if it is necessary to miss out the class, no, miss that class. Within 1 hour, you will get that video, no? Within 1 hour, you will get video, no? After 1 hour, try to watch that video. At least before come for the next class, watch that video. With that idea only, come to the class. Main concepts of JDBC we started. Just every point internally I'm going to touch. So without knowing that all the points now, we are unable to understand JDBC programming effectively. So because of that reason, every class is important. Don't miss that classes there. That's my point, right? So because of that reason, the continuation, but still the topic is not completed. Step number 1 is not completed. Load and register the driver step is not completed. Almost 70% is completed. 2 to 3 conclusions are remaining there. I need to talk about them. Then after that, I will share the document. Then I will go for the next steps now. 1 or 2 days of time it will take to complete this total process there. Then after that, I will start directly programming part here. So don't miss out this content here in the next 10 to 15 days of time clearly. Right, sir. No problem. I think so. Advanced Java materials are available at our office. I think so. 50 copies are available. Then they're costable. Then try to go there and try to check out about this advanced Java material. For online students, you will get advanced Java material today as a PDF file. Already uploaded today. Today you will get it in the drive. Then we can see that one clearly. Right, sir. Those who require that advanced Java materials there, then try to check there. At our office, it's available. My material only is available. Try to collect it. Maybe today or tomorrow, whatever it may be, we can check it now. Right. Thank you guys. Thanks a lot. I'll meet you tomorrow.